Welcome to Let's Play Battlefield 1942. Today, on a very special episode of Let's Play Battlefield 1942, we're going to be doing a little bit of base camping. The level's going to be Alamein, and I'm connected to a server which, so far as I know, allows you to do base camping with tanks. And if at all possible, I'm also going to be doing some flying. For some reason that loading screen is really going slow, but alright, here we go. As you can tell from the ticket counter, I'm joining this round at least halfway in here. A number of people have decent scores accumulated already, and that guy doesn't know how to fly a plane. So I'm just going to grab a vehicle and head over to the enemy main base. Actually, I might capture a flag or two on my way over there. The Allies have all three flags, and the Germans are terribly bleeding at the moment. There's really no telling what happened in this round to get the Germans in such a bad position, but yeah, they're spawning a bunch of people on the airstrip and at the main base. Well, actually, the main base is the only place they can spawn, but yeah, that's definitely going to provide a good excuse for them to plane camp if they feel like it. There's already one German at least trying to capture this northern base, and he may do it. It may be uncontested. I can see that empty tank icon there, and of course seeing the empty tank, that shows that for whatever reason he jumped out of the tank to capture that flag. Maybe he felt he couldn't drive the tank up the side of this hill, who knows. It always pays to shoot at these airplanes with a mounted machine gun on the tanks. It's just nice to remind the planes every once in a while that a tank is not simply helpless prey, even on El Alamein. You can do a good bit of damage to them. Even if you don't manage to kill an enemy airplane or even damage it that much, it'll at least encourage the plane to go after weaker prey on your team. With any luck, I'll be able to catch up to that friendly tank who's attacking the eastern base. My hope, of course, is that that tank is still going to be alive when I get over there to help him out. With the amount of energy on my tank right now, I'm not sure I can take the base on by myself, especially if they've got defenders over there. But he took it on his own, and it looks like the other flag that I haven't shown you has also turned over to the German side. And this is just another case of anything can happen in Battlefield 1942. At the beginning, they had all the flags, and now somehow we have all the flags. Even if you fire in relatively short bursts with the machine gun at the tank, somehow you can overheat the machine gun and you have to wait for it to cool down before you can fire again. I think the machine guns on the top of the tank are a little bit easier to fire without overheating them. This guy is an engineer, and he's got his wrench out, so he seems to be in a helpful mood there. And the energy on the tank goes up. The engineer can repair a tank. I believe they can repair a tank all the way from 0 energy to full energy in one little wrench, and then the wrench repair ability starts to regenerate. But the engineer was already repairing his own tank, so I think I've got enough energy to make an attack on their main base, though. I'm going to try as best I can not to overheat the machine gun. Generally speaking, when you want to fire a machine gun at an airplane, you only want to do it from the top machine gun if you have no other choice because of the angle of the tank, or if you're sure that they're not going to attack you. The reason why people like to use the machine gun from inside the tank is simply that an airplane can get a lucky shot on you with its own guns and kill you that way just by hitting you with a bullet. Whereas the only way he can kill you while you're inside the tank is to drop a bomb squarely on you and kill you in one hit. Planes generally can't do that. If the pilot's really good and he's really experienced at it, he may be able to do it with some degree of accuracy, but generally speaking, it'll take 2 bombs to kill an enemy tank. Incidentally, the bomber planes, not the giant bombers, but the 2-seaters, they drop 2 bombs at once, so they're a lot easier to kill tanks with. Incredibly, it looks like the people who are camping over here have already got their bazookas out ready. Maybe he was suffering from another base camper from before. As with any attack that you use a tank for, it always pays to keep on the move as best as you can. And you want to keep a pretty decent distance, just like any other situation where you're camping a flag. Your main enemy is the bazooka troop, and as I just showed there, it's difficult for bazooka troops to hit you at range, and it's difficult for them to hit you while you're moving simply because the bazooka is so slow to fire. Meanwhile, if you know how to reverse lead your targets while you're moving, you have a much better chance of killing the bazooka troop. Alright, now that last bazooka shot managed to take all of the remaining energy in my tank. I'm not quite on fire yet, but anything else that hits me is going to instantly kill me. I won't even have time to bail out. So what do you do in this situation? Well, I'm not an engineer, so I can't repair this tank. And if I try to just retreat to a flag, that really doesn't have much of a point, because I could just use the tank, maybe get a few lucky kills, and then get killed, and I'll respawn at that flag anyway. So if you've got no energy left on your tank and you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, it's best to just go for another run and see what damage you can do before they kill you. Now I'm going to head up to the main area of the Allied main base. It's the area where the tanks spawn, and the reason I'm going to do that is not only to avoid the heavy tank that's following me, but also because there's at least one repair pad up here that I know of. And if I'm lucky, I could get to the repair pad and get a decent amount of energy and maybe kill that heavy tank that's following me. There's a tank already sitting on that repair pad, so instead of repairing the one I've got, I may as well take this one. In addition, it prevents me from getting attacked by infantry who spawn in and grab the tank. Stay tuned for part 2.